everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Leanna. Today I am going to be doing a little review and a couple of wear tests on the Sephora Matte Perfection Tinted Moisturizer, which I received 3 foil packets of along with an order of mine, and one of the shades was actually the lightest shade, which is very rare when they give out foil foundation packet samples. It's in this little bag right now because there was actually enough product after the first wear test. I wanted to seal it up so I could use it again. So the Sephora Matte Perfection Tinted Moisturizer retails for $24 Canadian per ounce. On the app currently I see 15 shades. There used to be 16 shades. I'm a little confused right now because this is the lightest shade, Lace. I do not currently see Lace advertised on the app, so I don't know why they would send out the lightest shade and then not actually offer the lightest shade. I don't know if they're discontinuing it or maybe it's just not available currently. I hope that's the case. Hopefully it is going to be available at some point and it's just not available right now. This is what the shade range looks like. Tinted moisturizers generally don't have more than 3 to 6 shades, so to even have 15, 16 shades is pretty good. This is very sheer coverage, so hopefully it would work for a couple of different skin tones per shade, but I don't know. And since I don't know that, I want to say, erring on the side of caution, that this may not work for everyone. In fact, probably won't. Now, this is described as being a lightweight mattifying tinted moisturizer with sheer next to skin coverage. This product is fragrance free. It's a light coverage matte finish. That is what it says, and it's in a liquid form. Sheer lightweight coverage dulls redness and evens out a variety of skin tones. Soft matte finish is undetectable on your skin for a lovely natural look. So I wore this tinted moisturizer 2 different ways for 2 separate wear tests. And if you would like to see how that went and what I think of it, then just keep watching. First, we have the Sephora Matte Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Lace. Over here is the Hourglass Stick Foundation in Blanc. On the top over here is the E.I.f Hydrating Camo Concealer in Fair Rose. And over here on the bottom is the E.I.f Matte Camo Concealer in Fair Warm. So this is the little foil packet that we're going to be trying out today. It is the Sephora Matte Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Lace, which maybe you can or cannot see back here. There's also 2 other shades, Canvas and Velvet. I'm not sure where these fall on the spectrum, but this is the lightest shade, which looks extremely white. It actually might be too pale for me, but we're going to have to see. It's probably been over a year since I've done a complexion product wear test. Other than concealer, I honestly just really don't wear a lot on my face. So, oops, got a little bit on my thumb. We'll just put that right there. So let me just start. Oh gosh, yeah, that's really pale. Pale looks to be pretty neutral, maybe slightly yellow toned. Let me start blending that in on this side and see. But at least with a tinted moisturizer, it is going to be lighter coverage, so if it is too pale, hopefully it won't look that bad. And I do have to go out today, so, you know, masks will also help with that. Blends in really nicely by the looks of things. Obviously, I do have a little bit of redness here. I do have a few pimples here and here. These are old acne scars here, but they're fading now thanks to some vitamin C serum. And this is very liquidy, just so you know. Like, I'm having trouble keeping it in the package and not having it run everywhere on me, so that's just something to note. feel like I can smell something, but it's not like a perfume scent. I don't know what I'm smelling. It smells just very slightly. And it is very light coverage. Like right now it's not really covering anything, but again, it's a tinted moisturizer, so that's to be expected. I do have normal skin that can go just slightly more combination in the summertime, but I don't really have any dryness whatsoever. Tinted moisturizers are usually really good for dry skin, but because this is supposed to be more matte, maybe this one wouldn't be as good for dry skin. I'm gonna see if I can kind of build it up a little bit on some redder spots. Does look like it's building a little bit. This is kind of what it's looking like now. It does look more matte than what a lot of tinted moisturizers do. So if you don't like I would call this like a soft matte finish, demi-matte finish, then you probably won't like this one. It's not fully matte, but it's definitely more matte. I still have some in here, so I should be able to do a second wear test. I probably am going to like put a little piece of tape over it. That's what I usually do when I have a foil packet that has some left, and put it in a tiny little bag. Let's see. For today's wear test, I'm probably not going to put any powder on, just to see what it looks like on its own. And then for a second wear test, I probably will put powder on. But anyway, I'll show you what this looks like after I've worn it for several hours. Okay, so I'm back for the end of the day check-in. It hasn't been on for quite as long as I would have liked to have worn it today, but I would like to wash my face and just rest for the rest of the evening, because I kind of just got wiped out, to be honest. So I'm going to show you some screenshots I took earlier today in natural lighting. So if you can see here off to the side, it should be here. It's a really good shade match. I think it looks really good in regular lighting. And this is what it's looking like right now. It doesn't look like it's changed too much, even though I was wearing a mask earlier. I wore a mask, didn't wear a mask for that long, probably about a half hour or so. But I actually don't see that it's, come on, focus on me. I actually don't see that it's like worn off anywhere too much. Especially sort of on the cheek area, chin area, nose area. It's still looking good. It's not looking dry anywhere that I can see. And I noticed after I put it on, the smell got a little bit more intense. And I can't really pinpoint what that smell is. I think it's just a chemical smell because as far as I know, there's no sunscreen in it, there's no actual perfume in it, and there's no like plant ingredient in it, so it must just be a chemical scent. It set down onto my skin like pretty well immediately, so that kind of goes into the aspect of it being a matte tinted moisturizer. If you have more dry skin, or even if you just have a few dry spots, I could see how this would probably cling to some of them. But my skin is not dry right now, so I feel like it's a really nice texture for the skin type that I have at the moment. I would not want it to be overly dewy since the weather's been extremely humid lately. But overall, I really like it. It's a light formula for sure, but it did build up pretty well around here and here where I built it up earlier. Definitely is not looking as red as when I started the day. All of my other products went on top really well. I actually put on sort of like a cream to powder blush just with my fingers, and nothing really disturbed the product underneath, so that's good. But like I said, I will do a second wear test since I still have some left. I did what I said I was going to do. I put some tape around it and then put it in a little bag. So I'll do a second wear test and try something different just to see how it wears. But that's it for wear test number 1, and I will see you for the second one. Okay, so this is wear test number 2 with the Sephora Matte Tinted Moisturizer. So I'm just going to start applying that to my face. And today we're going to set it with powder and see how it wears. And again, I will be going out today, so I'm going to have to wear a mask. I forgot to do this last time. I forgot to really check inside the mask to see what the inside of the mask looked like. So I will probably take a photo so you can see. Most of my masks are white on the inside, so it should be pretty easy to see if there's a lot of makeup in there. Because it's always good to know if something transfers a lot on the inside of a mask. I'm just going to use my E.I.f Hydrating Camo Concealer around my eyes. And for powder, I'm going to take this pressed powder from a brand called Annabelle. It's called the Perfect Matte Powder. I feel like it goes with most things, so it's a pretty decent powder to try with this. So I'll put it under my eyes as well as around my face. For me, this is just one of those powders that has absolutely no color on the skin, and it doesn't add any added texture or dryness, so it's just a really good powder to try things out with. And this is what we're looking like right now, just after applying the powder. So it's looking still nice light coverage, very smooth, maybe a little bit more matte than it was the other day when I wore it. Feels a little bit more matte. So hopefully it will wear well under the mask. So I will come and show you what that mask looks like after I've been wearing it for a while, and also I'll show you what the face looks like at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm back from wear test number 2. Remember, I have put powder all over my face today. I wore a mask for maybe an hour and a half at the pain clinic today, and this is what my face looks like. So I did notice a really red spot on my nose when I removed my mask earlier, which to me would have signaled that something like makeup had rubbed off my nose, but there was nothing on the mask there that I could see. Really, the only thing that I saw on my mask was like the tiniest bit of blush, so I didn't see any foundation, which is good. This definitely looks a little bit drier with the powder on, which I kind of anticipated. It is already a matte finish, so putting something even more matte on top, I kind of anticipated it would look more dry. I would probably feel more comfortable just wearing it on its own, just because I do have normal skin. I don't really need to add anything on top to mattify. It's kind of fine for me. And if you have dry skin, I kind of feel like you might want to add something maybe a little bit more moisturizing or luminous underneath. I was reading some of the reviews on the Sephora app where people with drier skin were saying that this really didn't work as well for them. So I mean, you might want to steer clear entirely in that case, but I think you could probably make it work, because it's certainly far from being the driest formula I've ever tried. The coverage, of course, is incredibly light. It is described as sheer coverage. So if you are looking for something that can offer you more in terms of covering redness, pimples, anything you might have, again, this is probably not going to be for you. I don't have a lot to cover, and I really like for my skin to look like skin. This looks like skin, so I do like it in that respect. Probably the biggest con for me is the way that it smells. It doesn't smell like perfume. It is technically fragrance free, so there's no added fragrance in this, but I can just smell something after I've been wearing it for maybe 10 minutes is when I really start to notice it. It does wear off throughout the day, but for people even more sensitive than I am, and I'm pretty sensitive to scent, this could pose an issue for you as well. So I would say it's a pretty decent tinted moisturizer. Although I feel like it's kind of weird to call it a tinted moisturizer since it is matte. Usually tinted moisturizers offer moisture. This does not, so it could probably benefit from a name change as well, just because it's a little confusing there. But this is a nice product, better for normal to oily skin, not so great for dry skin, and definitely better for people who prefer lighter coverage. So I will leave a few more reviews down below for people with different skin tones and skin types, as I try to do on complexion videos. If you would like to check those out, they will be linked down below. I will also leave all the other makeup info that I've worn throughout the video down below, and other places where you can find me online if you would like to keep in touch. And you can also subscribe if you want to, and if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. Hope you and your loved ones are staying well, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, everyone.